I've got the brand new iOS 27 developer beta up and running on my phone right now, and WWDC 2026 just wrapped up. Apple finally delivered their smarter Siri after 2 years of delay with some big help from Google, because Gemini is running the new Siri in the background. And also, with their new capabilities, Siri might finally replace ChatGPT subscriptions too. In this video, we are going to look at what Apple actually announced, and then I'll show you hands-on whether they truly delivered. I'll be honest, it was supposed to be an iOS 27, macOS 27, and even watchOS 27 feature announcements, but it was disappointing to see that they did not even have a separate segment for each OS, because there were literally no new features. Siri was the one big feature, and that's where they spent the most time on. So let's see what they announced and what's available today. So real quick, here's what Apple actually put on stage. First off, iOS 27 is available for iPhone 11 and up, so a pretty wide range of phones get it. That's also because there isn't anything substantially new. The headline obviously is the new Siri or Siri AI powered by Google's Gemini under the hood, with a standalone Siri app, on-screen awareness, personal context that pulls from your emails and photos, and a new Siri mode inside visual intelligence, so you can point your camera at stuff and ask about it. On the Apple Intelligence side, they showed personal context Siri usage, smarter writing tools like smart replies and proofreading, and AI baked into shortcuts so you can actually create shortcuts with it. The feature I'll be most excited to see is the upgraded Apple Intelligence tool in the Photos app. Photo cleanup was a subpar experience, and the new tools hope to fix them. Even though iOS 27 will be available for iPhone 11 and up, most of the new Siri features powered by Apple Intelligence will be available only on iPhone 15 Pro and up. Okay, I noticed something that made me very disappointed. So Siri AI is already limited to iPhones and Macs that have Apple Intelligence. That is iPhone 15 Pro and newer, right? The new enhanced Siri AI is coming to those same devices, except for the more powerful features. The more powerful Siri model, and that includes the Siri's expressive and customizable Siri and improved voice dictation features, are coming only to the iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone Air and M3, and the newer Macs. Not even the iPhone 17. This is because these powerful models need at least 12 gigs of RAM, and the 17 models only have 8. This is disappointing that it supports only half of even the latest released models. You can see this in their website in a teeny tiny footnotes. So parental control got a genuinely big upgrade, and as a parent, this caught my attention. Apple is basically giving you way more control over 3 things: what your kids can see, who they can talk to, and when they can have access. So you can guide what they're doing instead of just flat out blocking everything. Kids can now ask permission to download an app and even ask permission to browse. So you're in the loop instead of finding out later. There is also communication safety that screens for stuff like nudity and violence, and the screen time controls are more customizable now. So now you can actually see how your kids are using their devices and what they're spending time on, and not just how long they're spending time. If you have got little ones, this might honestly be the most practical part of the whole update, and it's the kind of thing that doesn't get the headlines but matters in real life. Okay, now let's get into what's actually on my phone, starting with design, because this is the first thing that I can confirm that it's working. The liquid glass look from last year got refined, and the big new thing is that now you can control how much tint you want. So if last year's super see-through look was a bit too much for you, you can now dial it in to your taste. App icons also get the liquid glass treatment. So now here's another part that's working on my phone, the new AI editing tools in the Photos app. There are 3 of them. First one is Cleanup, which lets you remove distractions from a photo. So that random person photobombing your shot or a trash can in the background, just tap it and it's gone. This was available before, but Apple says it's more refined now. The second one is Extend, which fills in and expands the area around your photo. So if you crop too tight or wish that you would have captured a little more of the scene, it builds that for you. To be honest, Samsung and Google have had this feature for a while now. User adoption on those devices weren't great from what I read. It's coming to iOS. Let's see if there is adoption here. And third, Reframe, which actually lets you change the composition and angle of a shot after you have already taken it. This seems to be a genuinely new and a good idea, but when I tried it, it worked, but the quality of the result was okayish. The photo somehow felt degraded, and the niche to use this specific tool might also be very, very small. But it's here, and let's see how users find it useful. Another one that's actually working right now is AI in shortcuts. So you can now use AI to help create shortcuts instead of manually dragging together every single step. For anyone who has wanted to get into shortcuts but found it intimidating, this lowers the barrier a lot. Okay, now the big one. The reason most of us are here watching this, the new Siri. And I'm on iOS 27 right now, and I cannot actually use the new Siri. There's no new Siri app on my phone. When I went looking for it, I got put on a waitlist to use it. So the headline feature of the entire keynote, the thing that they spent 2 years promising, I can't even try it. And I'm not going to lie, that's disappointing. Again, it feels like Apple Intelligence story all over. Huge keynote moment, lots of hype, and then actual software says coming soon. Personal context and on-screen awareness were the two features that I was most excited for, but on my phone right now, they are not working. So as of today, the smartest parts of iOS 27 still feel more like a promise than a feature. But I do have hope because this time it's a waitlist, not just coming soon. So subscribe to see full Siri demo as soon as it lands on my phone. So here's what they're actually promising. You invoke Siri the way you always have, and then you get the old Siri logo back. Except now the animation doesn't take over the whole screen like it used to. You ask a question and the answer just shows up right in the dynamic island. Apple says, unlike before, Siri AI has broad world knowledge now, meaning when you ask something to Siri, it should not say, let me pull up the web results for you anymore. Then if you pull it down further, it opens into a new Siri app where you can keep asking questions and actually have a back and forth conversation, just like ChatGPT app. So in their demo, they asked Siri about a concert and then followed up with how can I get tickets? And here's the part that's actually clever without re-invoking Siri. They just asked it to set a timer for when the ticket lottery opens, then asked it to play a single from that artist, and it just did. One flowing conversation, no starting over each time. This is pretty much what Gemini is capable of doing in Pixel phones, and since Gemini is powering Siri now, I expect it to be equally capable. And this is also exactly what Apple promised 2 years ago. Being able to look up data from your messages, emails, internet, everywhere and make a unified agent. Looks like it's finally here. They showed a couple more that genuinely impressed me. One, you've got a photo of some place on your phone and you just invoke Siri and ask, where is this place? With on-screen awareness, Siri figures it out. Then checks your messages for where a friend had shared the address and then finds it. And when you ask for directions, it just opens it up in Apple Maps. It changed the whole thing together. With broad world knowledge, realistic image generation and everything, Siri is much closer to Gemini or ChatGPT. What I don't fully understand is, how is Apple not burning cash by giving this all away for free and unlimited while ChatGPT and Gemini charges $20 a month? If Apple delivers what it demoed, it's a really good deal. Another call out from the editing desk, which kinda answered my previous question. Basically, Apple is saying these AI features do have rate limits. Check this link out. Some features, including image generation, have daily usage limits, and increased access is available with iCloud Plus subscriptions. Well, that's another slight disappointment. I'll also give Apple genuine credit on one thing. In the keynote, they made a point of talking about privacy with basically every feature. On-device processing, private cloud compute, the whole thing. So whenever the smart Siri does show up, at least the privacy side seems well thought through, which matters a lot when it's digging through your emails and photos. So that's my first look at WWDC 2026 and iOS 27. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you excited for this new Siri, or are you tired of waiting after everything Apple's put us through? Drop it in the comments. Also, hit subscribe so you don't miss my full Siri hands-on the second I get off the list. I'll see you in the next one. This is Sanjana. Bye-bye.